Okay, YouTubers, I got my 2006 Honda Civic Hybrid here. I like these cars a lot just because they do or can get really good gas mileage. The problem with them is they do have a lot of hybrid battery issues. So I'm going to show you kind of how to know if your battery's going bad, or if you have a bad battery, or if you are just driving your hybrid poorly. So on the internet, these hybrids are supposed to get anywhere from probably 45 to 55 miles a gallon depending on how you're driving. Right now I'm getting 43.8, 43.5. This is actually on a bad battery. The reason that this battery is bad is because it just doesn't hold a charge that well. If I leave it out and I don't drive it for a day or two and then get back in it, it acts really weird for the first 20 miles or so until it gets charged better, and then after that it drives okay. What I'm going to talk about is this gauge and how to drive your hybrid to get the best gas mileage. So usually this battery in this car will give my wife about 32 miles a gallon, or even as low as 28 miles a gallon, because she doesn't drive it like you should. I can get about 40 to 45 miles a gallon on it just because I know exactly how to drive these, and I'll show you how to do it right now. So what you want to do, let's look at this right here. There's the gauge on the left that shows your battery, how fully charged it is, how much power it has. I think it has 8 squares. Right now it's 5 of 8, so it's about 60% charged, 65% charged. You can see right there, the assist is when you're getting power from the battery to drive. So usually that is used when you're accelerating, when you're going up hills, when you're speeding up. Any time like that, you'll usually use some of your battery. When you let go of your gas, or when you're going downhill, or when you're braking, that's when it charges the battery. Now obviously you get the best gas mileage when you're either charging your battery, when you're coasting, when you're not really pressing the gas that much, and you get the worst gas mileage when you're using the gas, when the battery's having to assist you. The other thing that really eats up your gas mileage is if you use this assist so much that your battery gauge goes down to 3 or 2, that really hurts your battery, because it's going to have to force charge to get it back up. You're going to lose power, and you're going to also get really bad gas mileage. That's when it usually dips under 30 miles a gallon. I'm just driving it. I'm not trying to get good gas mileage right now. That's why you see the assist going up, and I'm probably averaging about 30 miles a gallon right now. But the thing I do to fully maximize my miles per gallon is you're gonna want to go anywhere from 60 to 80 miles an hour on the freeway, usually in the lower part of that. And then around town, you really want to coast as much as you can. When you start at a stop sign, when you accelerate, you want to do it as slowly as possible. Obviously not too slow, but you kind of want to do it where you're 3 bars or lower for your assist. I will just kind of watch that and make sure that I'm not using too much. Sometimes you're barely pushing the gas. If you barely let off of it, it'll go down a gauge or 2, and that helps a lot. Another thing is when you're going up hills, just don't try to speed up, because that really kills your gas mileage. Just kind of use 1 or 2 bars on the assist, and then when you're going down hills, you just want to have it charging, and you want to just kind of coast and just barely hit that gas, and that'll exponentially increase your miles per gallon. So I mean, you can get 150 miles a gallon going down a hill, and then going up a hill, you can get about 20 miles a gallon. So that can help improve your miles a gallon a lot. Another thing you can do is make sure you drive the vehicle every day. The less you drive it, the more the battery will deteriorate. What happens in these batteries, these hybrid batteries, there's about, I'm not sure of the exact number, I think it's about 20 battery sticks, maybe more than that. And each battery stick has about 6 cells in it. Kind of think of a D battery. So each stick has 6 of those D batteries. So when you're driving, let's say you have one of those 20 cells is at 100% capacity. So when you're charging it up, it charges up to 100%, and you can use that full capacity. If you have a bad cell in the middle of the pack that only has 70% capacity, because that battery only has 70% capacity, when it goes to recharge the whole battery pack, your whole battery pack would only go to 70% capacity unless you force charged it to get it higher. And I'm going to make a video about how to force charge it, the easiest way to force charge your battery, kind of troubleshoot if your hybrid battery is truly bad, or if it can be fixed with a recondition. But I will post that video later. So a lot of times these hybrid batteries will get too hot. In California, Arizona, the hot states, these batteries just don't last that long because the ventilation inside the battery is not that great. So a lot of people will put in external fans, like computer fans, to try to cool the battery, or just things of that nature. Another thing that you want to know, obviously, when you're using the air conditioner, your battery is going to go down. So that's something you kind of want to regulate. Obviously, you don't want to use the battery or the AC too much, but at the same time, you're going to use it, because if not, it's just no fun driving in super hot weather without the AC. I mean, I just went up a hill, and I'm going to start going down it. And let's just look at these miles per gallon now when I'm going down the hill. I'm just coasting right now. I'm going to coast till I get about 70 miles an hour. Speed up a little bit until I get a little bit faster, and then coast again. And again, this is on a bad battery. I'm going to take this battery out and recondition it. So if you have a good battery, you should easily be able to get 50 to 60 miles per gallon on the freeway if you drive correctly. I've seen batteries increase in miles per gallon. The way you drive it, you can get 10 to 15 extra miles a gallon if you drive it the way that best suits that hybrid battery. So right now I'm getting 82 miles a gallon. I'm almost done on the hill. For example, if I was going up that hill, I'd probably get 20 miles a gallon, so that's 100. That'd be an average of 50 miles a gallon. On flat surfaces, I'm only averaging about 38 or 39 miles a gallon, maybe more, depending on the weather and everything. I mean, I can get it up a little bit higher than that, I guess, but that's definitely something that you need to look at when you're driving your hybrid vehicle. A lot of people think that because their gas mileage is lower than what the estimate is supposed to be, that your hybrid battery is not working correctly. A lot of times, though, it's just the way you're driving it. So I mean, the main points to look at are: don't accelerate too fast, accelerate very gradually. When you're going up hills, just kind of keep it on the lower part of acceleration. When you're going down hills, coast as much as possible. When you're stopping, coast as much as possible beforehand. When you're stopping, it also charges the battery when you're using the brakes, so that helps. So those are the main things. Don't go over 80 miles an hour, because the faster you go, you're just not going to get as good a gas mileage. I think the ideal speed is like 60 miles an hour for gas mileage. You know, it's kind of hard to do that when the speed limit's 70. I never do that because I have a lead foot, but that's something to look at too. And then parking your car in the garage if you live in a hot climate, keeping your windows down a little bit, cracked, so you have more ventilation in there. Installing an external fan. A grid charger is a good idea if you want to keep your battery in top shape and enable it to last longer. I have a grid charger too, and I'm going to show a video on that as well. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you can do to keep your battery in good condition, and you want to do that because brand new batteries from Honda are going to be about $4,000. A rebuilt battery with just a couple years warranty from, you know, a third-party vendor would be probably $2,000 to $2,500. So it's obviously a big thing to worry about, and a big thing that you wanna baby and take good care of. I would think of it as an engine or a transmission. You want to do the work on it so it'll last as long as possible. Some of these batteries only last 50,000 miles. Some of them last 200,000 miles. It really just depends on how you treat them. I mean, if you just abused your battery, it may not even last, 5,000 miles. It just really depends on how you use your vehicle and how often you use it and all that stuff. So I hope this video worked. I hope that I can get you some extra miles per gallon and save you some money. And be sure to check out my upcoming videos about maintaining your battery and removing the battery and grid charging it and all that other stuff. And please subscribe, and thank you for watching.